Investigate TV is here.
You almost seem speechless.
Watch Investigate TV. From the station that's on your side. This is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Next at 6 o'clock, one person is dead while a deputy recovers after being shot in downtown Augusta. Now the coroner is asking for help to find the gunman's family.
We have live team coverage on the shooting of Deputy Kenneth Mercer as he continues to recover from some very serious injuries. Hallie Turner and Craig Allison are standing by with new details about the man behind the badge. We have the latest on the investigation and what we've just learned this afternoon about the gunman.
In the last 2 hours, we learned the suspect's identity. He's 36-year-old Wrdw seizure. Before releasing the name, the coroner's office used every avenue they could to try to find his family, but they didn't have any luck.
Now they're asking the public about any information or on someone who might be related to seizure. They say he may have ties to Florida or New Jersey.
And when the shooting happened, Deputy Mercer responded to a call on 12th and Ellis Street about a man with a gun. Investigators say deputies tried to get him to surrender, but it turned into a shootout.
The GBI says seizure was shot and killed right there at the scene. And since the story broke, support and prayers have been flooding in for this deputy. As we speak, he's recovering from those serious injuries we mentioned.
Hallie Turner live in the newsroom for us. So Hallie, we know the community has been responding to this news all day.
Yeah, there's a tremendous outpouring of support. Kenneth Mercer is a son, brother, and father. And the community he serves says he's more than just a deputy.
He was just thorough at what he did. He was a very thorough officer.
When it comes to protecting his community, Deputy Kenneth Mercer's former co-worker says no matter the circumstances,
He always had a positive attitude.
and he's a guy you want behind the badge.
The most important thing and one of the key things is the fact that he loved what he did. So whenever you find a police officer who just loved being the police, that's always a good thing.
His friends are taking to Facebook describing what an amazing person he is and his commitment to protecting the community. William Linton says he's been friends with Deputy Mercer for 20 years. He describes him as a family man, a friend to anyone who knew him, a phrase that continues to echo. From his kind heart to infectious smile, he always makes everyone feel at ease. Other posts describe him as a great deputy, saying he's a man who loves his job protecting the CSRA. And at the end of the day, Chief Kyler says the key to success is finding someone who loves their job the way Deputy Mercer loves his.
Mercer was the one. He really wanted to be the police.
His family tells me that this has been very hard on them. As you can imagine, this case is still under investigation with the GBI, and as we learn more, we'll keep you posted.
Hallie, thanks for the update there.
Meanwhile,
Craig Allison spoke with some city leaders about plans to help and possibly monitor Augusta's growing homeless community.
I just think that we all need to embrace this community because right now it's a difficult time.
While the entire homeless community isn't represented by this recent shooting, some commissioners are looking for more security, keeping a watchful eye. District 7 Commissioner Sean Frantum is looking to expand the panhandling ordinance to monitor high congested intersections for homeless traffic.
I think it's just a bigger discussion of wraparound services that we need to have with Salvation Army at the table, the task force at the table. People need to embrace them as well. But we also have to hold them accountable.
He says there's an imbalance with the lack of Richmond County officers available to handle the workload being put on their shoulders like this past weekend. From a conversation with Sheriff Roundtree in the past month, District 3 Commissioner Catherine Smith McKnight says understaffing is hitting hard, but also says the streets need to be swept up more.
It has increased since COVID, and Augusta should not be the place to drop homeless people off and say, oh, Augusta's the place.
Bethany Trapp, who serves as the program coordinator at Marion Barnes, says the homeless need our help. They're a very misunderstood part of Augusta, and so many of us are a paycheck away from the same fate.
Craig Allison reporting for us there. Commissioner McKnight also said there is some concern over how people might treat the homeless now and what sort of rules might be coming to further marginalize them after this weekend's shooting.
turning to weather now.
So heads up for an early morning commute tomorrow. Visibility down below a mile for many spots, especially if you're going to be crossing over the river. Update on some higher storm chances though late into the week in just about 10 minutes.
Stay Social Tap and Table back in a courtroom. The owner there, Renee Hajek, fighting back against Columbia County for revoking their alcohol license.
Back in December, a judge sided with Columbia County, so they cannot serve alcohol anywhere in Georgia now for the next 10 years unless the judge in today's hearing says otherwise.
From the Board of Commissioners revoking to the Superior Court upholding. Stay Social is no longer allowed to serve alcohol here or anywhere else. The commissioners initially ruled Stay Social violated an ordinance in Columbia County where you need to have at least 50% food sales if you want to serve alcohol at your business. Now they're asking the judge to reconsider.
But we're here in the Superior Court asking for relief, a remedy. This business was obliterated. It's gone.
Carrie Wiggins represents Renee Hajek and Stay Social. They claim advice from the county manager set her up for failure at the initial hearing, from a text shown here from the affidavit.
And the county manager committing fraud. That's the allegation. And it's a harsh word, but it's lulling Stay into submission. And saw the county manager step up and lead witnesses to assure the revocation of the license. I couldn't believe it.
But the county's attorney says that this was just good advice, and at the end of the day, their accountant was present at the hearing and never challenged their numbers.
Had their CPA present to testify. If the numbers made the 50%, the CPA could have testified to that effect. Did not testify to that effect.
And Hajek says they're looking to get this changed with hopes to open up somewhere else. Right now, she can't serve alcohol in Georgia for the next 10 years.
And we could get a decision on this in the next 24 hours. We'll let you know just as soon as we hear something in that court ruling.
Also, we're working to learn more about the death of a Fort Gordon soldier. 35-year-old Alan White died Saturday morning after being shot. White was shot on Derby Lane. It's in the McCoys Creek neighborhood in Grovetown. The coroner tells us he'd been shot once and died just before 4 o'clock Saturday morning. We've reached out to the sheriff's office for some more details about what led up to that shooting.
Politics now. State Rep Jody Lott will not be seeking re-election. Lott says she's going to finish out her term in December of next year. The Republican represents House District 131. She was first elected back in 2015 during a special election. Lott says she's interested in doing some type of policy work, especially in industries involving first responders, law enforcement, and election reform.
First Lady Jill Biden will visit Augusta next week. She plans to talk to the community about working together to expand pathways to good-paying jobs. The America Workforce Hubs meeting, that's next Tuesday, it's the 18th, comes after President Biden named Augusta as one of several workforce hub cities. Augusta, the cybersecurity capital of the country, and today the Georgia Cyber Center is celebrating 5 years.
And it was a wet start to the week, but luckily we're drying out over the next couple of days. We'll have a look at the full forecast just after the break. Even though we're going to stay dry, make sure you are protecting yourself from the sun. Later into the week, there you go, mid-90s to close it out for the weekend. And those afternoon thunderstorms, once again, very hit or miss. Not widespread, but just keep that First Alert weather app close by for outdoor plans late in the week.
That was a nice break from the hot weather today.
Yeah, we did enjoy that part of it.
No doubt about it. Riley, thanks. There's a big reason to celebrate over the Georgia Cyber Center. Today marks 5 years in our community.
Maria Teller stopped by to see how they're honoring the big occasion.
For the first time in 5 years, community members and students like Samuel Bailey get to see how the Georgia Cyber Center operates.
Going behind the scenes lets us see what actual people are doing live and the tools they use to do it.
This kind of in-depth look is rare but beneficial for students like him.
As someone who wants to go into the field, getting a peek at what they want from you and what they're using, the tools and the opportunities, was something that I'd be interested in. And also just pure curiosity, you know.
Through tours, activities, and demonstrations,
so as the developers of CyberRange, this is where we live.
The community is getting to see how academia, private industry, and government all collaborate.
With government, we're focused on technology we need today, whereas industry is more focused on what we need in the future. So we're able to interact with those guys and drive our focus to where it needs to be going forward.
It's something Sizemore says is key when it comes to cybersecurity.
With technology moving in the cyber realm as quickly as it does, you have to be located closely with industry because they're on the forefront of this technology.
The event also serves as a chance to fill vacancies in a growing field.
Georgia has 24,000 jobs that are available currently that we cannot fill, and we're helping to shrink that workforce gap.
For students like Bailey, getting the chance to network and see what is out there is good news.
Being able to be here present and for employers to see you working what you do can not only build opportunities for now, but also for the future.
In Augusta, Maria Sellers on your side.
And leaders of the Cyber Center say they're really excited to show the community how the building operates.
And as far as the future goes, they're saying that over the next 5 years, they hope to hire more researchers and maybe even expand into even more space. Those two buildings filled up in a hurry.
Very quickly, yes. We are definitely the hub for cyber. Okay, coming up in sports, a Greenbrier graduate heading to the Colorado Rockies. Alyssa Lyons has the latest on the top 10 draft pick out of Tennessee.
First of Infinity.
I'm Chip Lewis with Augusta Medicare Specialist. The Medicare enrollment process can be overwhelming. Let us take that burden off your shoulders. We're local and we're here to help. Don't wait till you're 65 to call. Are64.com.
Real home internet on the next generation 10G network only from Xfinity.
Alright, what do we got? Looks like 64 yards to the pin. About 64 mile per hour winds. Dude, there's no wind. Hand me my 64-degree wedge. What's it with you at 64? Are you 64.com?
That wave of storms we mentioned earlier today brought some heavy rain to the area. It had happened just 2 weeks after another heavy soaker sent floodwater and sewage into homes in South Augusta. Now some of those same neighbors are dealing with those same issues all over again. Here's a look at a map showing just how much rainfall some areas got in just a couple of hours, right around 2.5 inches for some spots. Our Wrdw is live for us over on Emerson Drive with the latest on the damage there.
Yeah, I'm on Emerson Drive, where the people on the street say this isn't the first time they've been impacted by flooding. And actually, just a few hours ago, this entire street was flooded yet again. Now, Jarrell came home today to move his stuff back in after being displaced for multiple weeks because of flooding just a few weeks ago. When he got back, his entire street was flooded and was at least ankle deep in water. He says to come home to this again is very discouraging.
I'm sitting here like, okay, am I have to go through this again before I even move my stuff back in the house? Am I going to have to go through another 2 weeks of hotel hopping and all these things? So it's just been a crisis in this area trying to get some type of help from the city.
Now, these neighbors next door actually still have water in their lawn from this morning, and everyone that lives on the street says they're worried for when the next storm hits that it could cause even more flooding.
Certainly an uneasy feeling as you're trying to get back in your house. Thanks for that, Audrey. A man is in jail after police say he tried to stab his father. If you were on Newmantown Road in Grovetown around 12:30 this afternoon, you might have seen a lot of police cars. Grovetown PD says around that time they found a 71-year-old who had a deep cut on his hand. The victim told officers he had an argument with his son, and his son tried to stab him with a pocket knife. Leonard Miller charged with aggravated assault and a weapons charge.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Only a handful of baseball players in the CSRA have made it to the MLB. Pitchers are typically the first to come off the board. Last night in the first round of the MLB draft, Greenbrier's Chase Dollander became the latest to get the call.
With the 9th pick in the 2023 MLB draft, the Colorado Rockies select Chase Dollander, a right-handed pitcher from the University of Tennessee.
He's headed to the Rockies. He is the highest pick to go in the first round from the CSRA. The last to even come close was Tyler Colvin out of North Augusta in 2006. He went 13th. He is also the 4th highest drafted bull in program history. The Greenbrier graduate was named the 2022 SEC Pitcher of the Year. The Braves strengthening their own bullpen with pick number 24 in the first round. They selected Person Waldrop. If the name sounds familiar, the Florida right-hander appeared in the College World Series, striking out over 37 during the course of the tournament. Waldrop is from Thomasville. He says he's been watching the Braves since he was 6 years old, and while he's had his eye on the Braves, they've had an eye on him too.
Over the past couple of years, seeing the way they've handled their players and just overall, the level of talent they've brought through the system and continue to bring through the system and the way they handle their players, it's really unmatched in the league, and it's awesome to be a part of.
We've had Waldrop on the radar for years, since high school. I believe he was a COVID draft, if I remember correctly, in 2020. Ended up going to Southern Mississippi, and then we've been following him along since then. He was at Team USA last summer. We had a ton of scouts see him this whole spring. Perhaps we might have been at every single one of his starts, even, to be honest with you.
The Braves kept with a theme for the first night of the draft. In round 2 at 59, they selected Drew Hackenberg out of Virginia Tech. They also picked up a compensation pick, Cade Cooler from Campbell, all three right-handers.
All right, thanks for that, Alyssa. Remember, over the next couple of days, we got a little bit drier weather pattern setting up shop, but back to the storms, heat, and humidity by Thursday. Now look at the 7-day just after the break.
You're watching News 12 on your side.
5 Jefferson Davis Highway or online at terrylamberthyundai.com.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You've enjoyed the WRDW app on your phone, but did you know you can also stream it on your TV? Even if you cut the cord, you don't have to lose your local news.
Wait, what?
Or your first alert weather with the free WRDW streaming app.
Well, that's good news.
And it's easy to do. Just type in or search WRDW, and you've got your local news, first alert weather, sports, and more. The WRDW News app on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV store.
How do we get her out there?
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, dangerous prisoners on the run. The manhunt today after 3 homicide suspects escaped. But we're learning about the inmates and the warnings from authorities about a self-taught survivalist. That's tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
All right, folks, we'll have a look from our southbound smokehouse camera. We have blue skies overhead at the moment, but with all that rain earlier today, you can see it's really muddied up our Savannah River. So unfortunately, not the pristine waters that we were looking at just a couple of days ago. But ending our Monday nicely. Temperatures right now at 78 degrees here around town, feeling like 80. Still a little bit of some humidity in the air, but that could go down just a smidge over the next couple of days. As we continue through this evening, we're going to hang on to mostly clear skies. A few clouds may pass by at times, but for the rest of tonight, just gradually dropping our way down into the upper 60s. And remember, late tonight, early tomorrow, may run into some patchy fog right around sunrise. That'll be the only thing you have to worry about for the first part of your day. Looking beautiful throughout most of your Tuesday, and we should stay mostly rain-free until we get later into the week.
And that's all our time for now. Our next live update is at 7 o'clock on NBC 26.
Then we're back with more News 12 tonight at 11. We'll see you then.